I thought some of you guys might be curious about this, so I thought I would do a video on it. Let's talk pregnancy after a C-section. Now obviously I have to have C-sections because of my cerebral palsy. My body just doesn't allow me to give birth naturally because the lower half of my body is just affected so severely. Now, the type of cerebral palsy that I have is called mild CP, but the lower half of my body is the part that is mainly affected, so it doesn't allow me to walk, sit, or stand for long periods of time without causing me a great deal of pain. So therefore, I do not have the strength to push out a child. Now, my doctor has given me full discretion to try if I feel able to, or if I want to, but I feel like that would put my child at more risk and myself at more risk, and I'm just not up for that, so I opted just to schedule a C-section with Heaven and go for that route, because ultimately getting my child here safely is what matters. So I will be having another C-section with this baby. So let's talk about what pregnancy is actually like for me this go around. So this go around, I still found out super early. Waited a month, went to the doctor, and was about 7 weeks and some odd days. Found out it was a girl at 15 weeks. And had a genetic testing done through blood work. They didn't cover the gender test anymore. My insurance did not. So I didn't want to pay the $500 out of pocket because I didn't see the benefit of it, especially when my doctor was offering to do a ultrasound for free at 15 weeks to tell us the gender. So I opted out of that, but we did do the free genetic testing that my insurance does cover. That will tell us if it has any kind of birth defects and so on and so forth, like Down syndrome, neurotube, those kinds of things. Let's see, and as far as the pregnancy itself goes, it was a lot different, as far as the sickness and stuff goes, but as far as the actual C-section affecting my pregnancy, which is my purpose for making this video, I don't feel movement as well because I have so much scar tissue down there. I can tell the baby is moving and the baby is very active, but I don't notice it as well as I did Heaven. Now that could also be that I have, it could also be how my placenta is positioned. I don't know. So it could also be a placenta issue. But I'm just going with it's because I have so much scar tissue down there. My belly is still very numb down there because it's only been 2 years. But also where I've had so many foot surgeries on my feet, I still have nerve damage and scar tissue. I don't feel as well on my feet. But that could also be from cerebral palsy. I don't know. But I know the C-section issue is I don't feel as well on my stomach right there because of the C-section, because I didn't have any issues before the C-section, so I don't notice the baby moving as well as I did Heaven. So because I'm busy during the day chasing after Heaven, getting her snacks and sippy cups and changing diapers, which we're working on potty training with her. She knows what the potty is and where it is and that type of thing. We're just trying to be more consistent with it and to actually get her to go on the potty. But she just turned 2, so I'm not really expecting much out of her yet. Some kids just aren't ready young. So because I'm busy during the day, I don't really notice baby movement much, but then when I lay down at night, I definitely do because I'm not doing anything. But I would say that's one of the major differences. Like, I don't really notice the movements because they're not as strong. But, you know, like I told Noah, I said I don't think anything is wrong. I just think it's because of the scar tissue. And as the baby gets bigger, I have also noticed that it is more painful because the baby is starting like to rip through the scar tissue that I have. So it is getting more painful. And every time that I sit or stand, my C-section scar that I have from heaven hurts. So that's like the major differences in the pregnancies. With heaven, I didn't really have that kind of pain. The pain was mainly like my calves and that type of thing from putting on extra weight. In this pregnancy, my calf does hurt, and I do have like pain from my cerebral palsy, but like I mentioned in previous videos, I do have a walker. So I feel like they should warn you about like the scar tissue pain, because like when I started feeling this pain before I brought it up to my doctor, like I legit thought something was wrong, like, and he was like, oh, it's just the baby tearing through the scar tissue, whatever. And that's still very painful, like, you know. So I feel like they should make women that have had C-sections aware of this, but they don't. But that's pretty much all that's different. It's just, it's more painful. So just prepare yourself for that. And like, I have a very high pain tolerance, but I wasn't prepared for this kind of pain. And like, I don't lift heaven anymore because she is 28 pounds, and the extra weight and lifting heaven's weight is just a lot on my body, and I don't want to put that kind of strain on my body. And she can pretty much climb everywhere in our house by herself. So she pretty much does everything for herself. And if she wants my attention, she gets my attention, and she gets her lovins and all her affection, and yeah. All right.